You're now listening to the Pitchside Peregrine Podcast, your home for all things Athletic Club Boise. Welcome to the first full episode of the Pitchside Peregrines show podcast.
Pitchside Peregrines podcast.
Pitchside, the triple P.
Triple P.
I like that. It rolls off the tongue. We maybe thought of that when we made our decision to change the podcast name.
I think it works.
I think it's great. It rolls perfectly off. Everyone loves a little bit of alliteration.
Yes.
So
exactly.
Today's episode is kind of
That's the word I was looking for in our special episode. Dang it, I could not think of alliteration. That's what it was. That was killing me. I'm sitting there, my gears were spinning. Nothing was popping. Yep.
Today's episode is kind of just a catch-all, kind of put a bow on any announcement or piece of information that has been talked about or been released by the club before we get into the busy start of the season.
Yep.
So without further ado, let's just dive right in. Early in December, I want to say, the team did announce the three major assistant coaches or whatever coaching hires besides Nate Miller to AC Boise. And the first coach is Tim Daniels, assistant head coach.
Assistant head coach.
He does have he ties back, as many players have, ties back to Nate Miller and the San Diego Loyal, as he was on that coaching staff with Landon and Nate for their entire duration there at San Diego. He comes to us from the,
Charleston Battery in the USL Championship.
Not Charlotte Independence, Charleston Battery.
Charleston Battery.
Charleston, South Carolina.
I think so.
It's one of the Carolinas. You know, I
get Charlotte and Charleston mixed up. And I know they're very different. I want to say Charleston is South Carolina.
I think so.
And it's the prettier one, not the sprawly one.
Yeah, let's say that.
Yeah.
So he comes to us from the USL Championship again, just like a lot of our players.
Yep.
I think Nate, again, has this prior connection and probably pitched him a dream of being my second-hand man.
Yeah, San Diego, just like a lot of our players.
Yep.
And that Lansing connection as well.
all the ties.
Yes, absolutely.
So Tim is going to be, just like Nate, have some say in formation decisions, in training and what we look to, the players look to grow in, development, things like that.
Absolutely, yeah. So assistant head coach is his formal title. And I was kind of thinking about this. It's interesting. Have you noticed, I listen to so many other podcasts, and one thing that they've been talking about recently a lot is some coaches in the Premier League, or managers, some are called managers, some are called the head coach. And some of these guys, like Ruben Amrin,
yep.
I think it was, he had this big thing. He's like, I'm not a coach, I'm a manager. And I wonder if these guys see it the same way. If these guys, where Ruben Amrin is like, I'm not teaching anyone anything, I'm managing them. I'm managing the formation. I'm managing my system. I'm not teaching them per se the basics. I'm not, or no professional needs to learn the basics, but they need to be coached somewhat. Like whether they're making technical mistakes, they need to be coached out of those things. Mm-hmm. I think even as a baseball term, like every professional goes through, they get little hitches in their swing, or something just isn't right, and they need to be kind of coached out of it. But it's just interesting. I don't think in America they see it the same way. A head coach, like you were the head coach. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure. Do you think there's a distinction between the two? Do you subscribe to that area of thought where, no, I'm a manager, I'm not a coach?
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting thought. At least in Ruben's case, I think he saw the writing on the wall that he was gone, and he was just maybe trying to go out with a bang in that interview, because I think that was either the day before he got sacked or the post-game press conference before he got sacked with United. So at least for Nate's case, I want to say he is the head coach.
Yes, he is the head coach, but I wonder if it doesn't seem like from interviews his mentality isn't like he seems like a coach. Like he seems like a head coach.
I think that's just the Americanization of things.
I feel like probably a little less egotistical.
Yeah. I mean, at least, again, I'd say most Premier League teams are managers and not head coaches. I feel like.
Yeah, like I know some managers don't do the training like day to day. Like they're not like, I think even Sir Alex Ferguson, the greatest, arguably the greatest manager of all time, he didn't run his own training. Like he was in the office and he would just watch. He would just linger like a Sauron or something. Just like
just always watching.
Or Roz from Monsters Inc. Yes, exactly.
Didn't know her name. I'm surprised you.
We've now compared Sir Alex Ferguson to Sauron and Roz from Monsters Inc. They all check out?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah. And Jose, he's Portuguese. Jose Mourinho, I think, also was, I'm a manager, not a coach.
Yeah. And then there's Ted Lasso, who's
definitely
head coach.
But also assistant coach. He is a head and assistant coach all at the same time.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I think just the American way is Bill Belichick. I mean, I think the equivalent to a manager in American terms would be if your head coach is also the GM. They then border the line of being manager, or you're Jerry Jones and you're the owner, GM, president, vice president, the entire thing.
Definitely should not be.
Yeah,
I think there is a USL team where that was just announced. Where I forget. Oh, it's someone on the East Coast where it's the manager GM. It's a manager GM, and he's an old US legend. I'm gonna have to look into that, but yeah, that is a current thing in the USL. There is a manager GM of a USL team.
I'll put it up in post production here.
Yes.
So
Kyle will fact check.
For our video audience, here's what Kyle's talking about.
Yep.
For our audio audience, I'm sorry, you can't hear graphics.
Yep.
So
we will, but we can move on from this kind of random. Kyle thought of something.
Yeah,
and
that's why we're here, Kyle.
Kyle's ADHD kicked in, and we got on the sidetrack.
We're here to talk about everything and anything. So next one is Eric Sally.
I would guess
Saleh.
Sally.
Yeah, one of the two. He is, what's his official title?
Head of performance. My mind goes straight to he is a exercise science major, and so it seems like he's probably strength and conditioning coach, probably something along those lines.
Yeah, I think when I read the press release, it talked a lot about creating player-specific training and fitness and workouts and probably diet as well. He is more, at least if at the time of this recording you've seen any of the San Diego content, he's probably more in charge of the weight room time that the players are doing and leading that side of training, when maybe Nate and Tim are more in charge of the on the pitch training of formation and tactics and everything like that. So Eric also comes to us from the Charleston.
One moment. Yes, Charleston Battery.
Come
on, you had it. You had it. It was on the tip of your tongue.
I get mixed up by charger and a battery. So,
where he was also director of performance.
Yeah. So Eric and Tim,
for 3 years.
Eric and Tim were kind of a package deal, it sounds like, and both came to us from the championship. Again, don't know fully the negotiations that went on, but my brain says Nate sold Tim on it. Tim sold Eric on it. Let's go to Boise, and I would assume maybe get a little bit more money in the bank is why someone would maybe move across the country for that. So,
and you're coming to Boise.
Yeah, it's a great city for those who don't know about it. For those who know about it, it's an unknown city for those who don't know.
We're in every top 10 list. It's impossible not to know at this point.
Sure. So Eric, keep the boys fit, keep the boys strong and well fed, and look forward to seeing your work behind the scenes, since I don't think director of performance is someone who's like post-game interviews and everything like that.
No, I definitely say behind the scenes.
Yeah. So we appreciate your work in the shadows, and we welcome you to Boise.
To quote one of my favorite coaches, who I honestly don't know that much about, the legs feed the wolf. Herb Brooks, 1980 Olympic hockey team.
Of course.
The team that beat the USSR.
The Miracle on Ice.
Yes, Miracle on Ice. Herb Brooks, legs feed the wolf.
Come on. Exactly. I'm just picturing like a circle. The legs feed the wolf.
Yep.
The wolf of the legs. The legs of the wolf feed himself.
Yep.
Enough jibber jabber. And this last one is Diego Amaro, who is the goalkeeper coach.
Yes, sir.
Looks like a well-touted, has a lot of classifications and certifications in goalkeeping, comes from a well-known goalkeeping academy in its experience.
Yep.
So
North Carolina FC.
Yep.
So they were a championship team, but I think they're the team that folded technically in order to prep for their another
Premier.
topic we'll get on. We'll work towards North Carolina FC folded in order to better prepare themselves to join USL Premier, which is the newly announced top tier of the USL restructuring. But yes, he spent a year and a half down in North Carolina FC as the director of goalkeeping for the youth FC, so the youth team down there.
Nice. And I know he also had some academy work where he worked with anywhere from academy players to pre-professional players, so definitely has experience working with all ages and skill levels, so that if AC Boise ever does have a formal academy, let's call it, Diego has that experience of training a 13-year-old goalie versus a 25-year-old professional goalie. So, Diego is Brazilian nationality, so there is
maybe some connection.
Yeah, maybe that was a sell on the still unnamed Brazilian striker that Nate Miller,
the mystery striker that we still need to see.
Yeah, we're still waiting on. Potentially Diego was part of that sell. So welcome to the team, you three. We are happy to have you.
And then we also signed kind of the club announces. It's like, so we have a athletic trainer from St. Alphonsus, blanking on his name at the moment, but it's still, athletic trainers are important.
Good to know that they're in safe hands for any knickknacks or anything in between.
We've also,
I did see in there, like, the boys are getting ready, that Jonathan Ricketts was getting his blood drawn by the same lady who drew my blood when I got my year-end or annual checkup at St. Alphonsus. I was like, I know this lady. She's known for being really good at drawing blood.
It's a small world.
So I said, it's a small world, Jonathan.
It is a small world. We've also hired a head equipment manager, another very important role.
We love our equipment.
This is just filling out the soccer staff. And then I know Michael's been listed on the soccer staff page at AC Boise for a while. I saw him at the kit announcement. I think he's been around the team for quite a bit. Michael Kafari, manager of soccer operations.
Sweet.
Exactly. Sounds pretty all-encompassing. And I think AC Boise had kind of like they kind of had an academy-ish, like an under 20, so not youth, but I think they had some college kids, and I think Michael was a coach for that. But I know he's been in Boise for a while. I think he went to Centennial High School. Wow. So he's been around.
Go Pats, go. Town. We love a good Centennial High School. Great basketball team. If you don't, number 2 in the 6 SIAAC.
They had a good baseball team last year too. Brian Champion was the coach of the year. He's coach of the year.
Basketball is just better than baseball.
FYI, I coached freshmen for 2 years at Centennial for baseball.
Look at that.
And all those kids are graduated now. That's man.
Kyle's old. So that's the coach catch up. As Kyle teased earlier, we did get some greater pro rel news in the USL. I think again another
kind of news.
Another claim to fame for the podcast, where I think we said USL Premier was a great name. Premiership, I think, is what we said verbatim.
Yeah.
Versus USL Division 1 was the placeholder.
Yeah. I think they had Division 1 was Division 1 was a placeholder, but just this last week, I believe it was, they formally announced the new structure for promotion relegation. Mm-hmm. It'll be 3 tiers. Tier 1, so the Premier League. So it's USL Premier.
Yep.
Rules. I mean, I don't know if am I gonna call it the Premiership?
Or it's called the Prem.
The Prem, yeah, it might be the Prem, which is fine. USL Prem. So the plan for the Premiership, technically, so the Premiership will be the top division, which technically doesn't exist yet, obviously, but it's planned for 2028. There's a few teams that have already submitted their, I guess, intention to play in this division, and those teams would be Louisville City, who are currently in the championship, if I have that correctly. So, yes, Louisville City. North Carolina FC, who recently said they are not participating in this next season, and I think they're not going to participate until the premiere. And then Pittsburgh Riverhounds, the reigning champion of the championship, as well as Sporting Club of Jacksonville.
Of course.
And one thing to really keep in mind, and I think this is going to pose some issues for Boise and just the league in general. So a few quick notes. So the first season, they want to, so 2028 is when this is going to start, but they are not going to have 20 teams. 20 teams is the ultimate goal. They're going to have 12, it sounds like, in the first season. It's going to take 5-10 years to really get this league to where they really want to see it. So the USL Premier, first season is probably going to be 12 teams. Goal is 20. There will more than likely be 2 teams relegated or promoted from USL Premier to the championship and vice versa. And so it's not going to be full build out yet, obviously. And I think they said 6 to 8 teams will be teams you know and you love, versus there's going to be, 4 to 6 that are expansions coming from bigger metropolitan areas, because that's some of the U.S. Soccer Federation has professional standards that need to be met. And I'm going to list a few of those, it'll kind of lean into why USL Premier may be a stretch for Boise as it currently sits.
Yeah.
So some of those standards: majority owner net worth. The majority owner, minimum 35% stake, needs to have a net worth of at least $40 million. I don't know what Boise's ownership looks like when it comes to their net worth. It's more than me. It's more than me.
Far more than me.
So the group net worth, so essentially the ownership group, the combined ownership group must have a net worth of $70 million. And also, by the way, this is subject to change. This is just the current professional standards set by the U.S. Soccer Federation. The stadium and infrastructure. Clubs must play in a venue with a seating capacity of 15,000 or more. Boise's is currently 7,500 or so.
Yeah, but with plans to get to that 15, 16.
Modular stadium, there's plenty of room.
Yeah, you can box
for us to expand. And I think that'll be based on performance and also attendance and different things. But that's the minimum. Venue quality, I think they want to see it has to be soccer specific. Or at least it can't be a minor league baseball stadium.
Yeah.
That's one thing they want to see. Another one that Boise doesn't quite qualify for yet. At least 75% of the teams in the league must be based in a metropolitan area with a population of 1 million or more. So imagine this scenario. Say Boise is in the championship, and 5 teams in the top division.
Small market.
But imagine 5 teams. Yeah. 2 teams are getting, 3 teams get relegated when it's fully built out. Boise wins.
Promoted.
Boise wins the championship, Division 2. And the 3 teams that get relegated from Premier all are in metro areas bigger than 1 million. So if they all went down, they would break that threshold. Boise doesn't go up.
Potentially. Allegedly.
No.
Allegedly.
As it currently states.
According to this documentation.
So, merit versus metric.
Yeah.
That's a concern to me. I'm literally spiraling. I'm like, we don't cuss that option. We don't cuss that often. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that is. I get the standards, but I think those standards are garbage if that's what happens.
Yeah, I think that again I feel like I've beaten the dead horse here of just the American way. I think the beauty of at least English soccer is you can have Wrexham.
We're probably going to get promoted at this rate.
They're in 6th place at the moment, so they're in a playoff spot. Who back-to-back promotions was a semi-pro team 4 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever it is. And the Premier League has stadium requirements and I guess cameras and
stadium quality requirements, not attendance, not capacity.
You can have Ellen Road at 50 or 37,000 seats, and you can have, I don't know what the smallest stadium in the Premier League is.
Bournemouth, it's like 12, 13.
Craven's Cottage.
No, they're 18, 20-ish. I think it's Bournemouth. I think it's like 12.
So, hearing that the USL is maybe putting population and other maybe ownership requirements on premier division is.
I get the ownership requirements because they want to know. It's kind of like again in England they have like the fit and proper standards test for future owners, which is they've proven this time and time again that it's a broken system, but at least they have something in the way of, we're going to try and protect these teams so none of them go into administration and fold. It's like, well, you've done a pretty poor job, and also you've let the fox in the hen house with oil money, but that's neither here nor there. I don't think any Saudi Arabia oil money is going to be coming to the USL any day soon.
Don't think so. I know obviously the old president of the Premier League is in charge of the USL.
Yeah.
So,
well, now I'm really concerned.
Yeah, that is at least something to keep your eyes out for. Obviously, promotion relegation isn't happening for 2 or 3 more years, so gives Boise that time. I
don't see Visit Abu Dhabi being on the front of Boise shirts.
No, I don't see Visit Rwanda or
Emirates or Qatar Airways
being our sponsor anytime soon, but at the time you pulled up some data where the Greater Treasure Valley's population right now is about
800,000 ish.
So that gives us 3 years to hopefully continue our exponential growth of the Treasure Valley and gain 200,000 people. It's not.
I'll work on it.
Yeah. We'll just all multiply and have children that will increase the population of the Greater Treasure Valley by 30%. That's not too much to ask.
No.
So definitely not red flag, yellow flag, some cause for concern.
When we get there, there will be controversies like that. It's going to happen.
I think it would make sense if that expectation was built for those teams that are expanding into the Premier to start, where those are the expectations for those new teams that are coming in, probably markets that have competition with the MLS. Because I think at least big markets, the USL is running out of cities that aren't competing with MLS teams. Yeah. For your big LAs, your Seattles, Minnesotas, New York, Miami. I mean, you already have a team in Miami, for Pete's sake, on the championship. So there's going to have to be some sizing up of your opponent with competing with an MLS team in Salt Lake or in a maybe, let's call it a B tier market in the MLS of Sporting Kansas City, who just sold for $700 million.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Deloitte, which is like a economic financial kind of company, they release they have like a money market essentially where it says, hey, this is the list of the top 20 teams. I think they listed out to 100 in the world when it comes to their valuation. 12 out of the top 20 are MLS teams. 12.
Which is crazy to think that Leeds sold 2 years ago the remaining 51% of the club for $127 million, and they're now in the top division of the world, and that is 1/6 of what a middle of the pack, like not huge market team just sold for in the MLS.
Yeah.
Let alone talking about the Seahawks getting sold potentially this offseason for rumored $8 to $10 billion. So
I mean the NFL. But it was interesting to see that about 12 of the top 20 are MLS teams, which is it's interesting because I feel like people just don't see it when it's just like, I look at the attendance of the MLS and I look at the product of the MLS. I'm like, is that really worth that much? But at the end of the day, I mean, yes, because that's what it's selling for.
Yeah.
That's what it's selling for. It wasn't. I don't think a single MLS team was in like the top 8. I think the top 8 was all Real Madrid, Liverpool, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Chelsea,
City.
Manchester United, City, and then kind of at the bottom of the top 10, that's where all the MLS teams were. It's like, oh, hello,
Miami,
LAFC.
Minnesota.
Yep.
Surprisingly, I think Minnesota's surprisingly up there.
They could be. I mean, new team. Basically, it's all the new teams, or a lot of
Vancouver.
them. Galaxy were up there.
Yeah.
But it's hard to list off all MLS teams. There's like 30 something of them.
Yeah, they're adding up.
But I guess going back to the structure, apologies. So yes, the Division 1, the top tier is USL Premier.
Yeah.
The second tier is the USL Championship. We're matching England. What do you know? And then the bottom tier of the three tiers of the promotion relegation pyramid is Division or League
USL
One. USL League One, which we're currently in. And the distinctions. So the championship will also be 20 teams at full build out. Again, the dream or the vision allegedly is, of course, the 3 teams up, 3 teams down. Will that be just automatic, or will there be, hey, top 2 teams, you're up, and then third team, will you do a promotion relegation playoff like they do in Germany, or will they do teams that finish 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th? You're doing the promotion playoffs like in England, like in the championship, like in England. So that'll be interesting. I think they'll want to just add that extra layer. So I don't necessarily love the promotion relegation playoff game. I don't necessarily love it. So that's like in Germany. So 18th and 17th are gone. 16th plays the team that finishes 16th, and the Bundesliga plays the team that finished 3rd in Bundesliga 2.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're saying, let's just say Team 16 is then plays the 3rd best team in the team below,
and whoever wins gets to either stay or
gladiator type battle of if the lower team wins, they get promoted.
And it would be fun to look up that statistic. I'm not going to do it right now to see what the percentage, which team wins more often. I would assume it's probably the 16th place team in the Bundesliga. More than likely beats the 3rd place team in the Bundesliga too.
I mean, if you did that in the Premier League last year, you'd have what? You'd have Ipswich playing Sunderland. Was Ipswich 18 last year? It's either Ipswich or Leicester. It wasn't.
I want to say it was Ipswich or Luton. No, Luton was 2 years ago.
Last year was Ipswich.
I think Ipswich loses that
Leicester game. And who went down?
Sunderland.
Sheffield United.
Okay, well, yeah, they're gone.
Oh, yeah, I would say Sunderland based on how they've performed this year.
Yeah, it's tough. It's really tough, but I think Sunderland, they just had, and also momentum's really important.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's in, and then I guess another key kind of aspect to this is obviously the League One. Yeah. So League One is another distinction is that the top tier, or the USL Premier and the USL Championship, is going to be one table, 20 teams, one table, and the league did not set a exact number of teams for League One. It just says it's going to be regionalized table, so divisions. Think MLS has divisions now, so they didn't really say how many teams.
Yeah.
They didn't really say how playoffs are going to work. They didn't say how promotion and relegation is going to work. I'm just kind of assuming, based off of not obvious, but it's how it should function in my opinion. So
yeah, like a baseball where your division winner from each division goes into the playoff bracket and kind of goes from there. My only concern with that right now is you're going to need a lot more West Coast footprint for USL 1, since
Absolutely.
Right now it's us, Spokane, Sporting, Cascade, and AV Alta are the 4 Western teams, let's say, with the next most Western team being Omaha.
It's a little East to Coast bias, to say the least. I'm sorry, I'm looking up how many teams there are currently between the 2 divisions, USL Championship and USL League One, currently, just today.
Yeah.
And there's 38. So
that's almost building out.
We're almost built out, but that leaves an entire empty league, essentially.
Yeah,
if you just take those teams and say you're in Premier, you're in the Championship, and then you're still missing 2 teams, plus you need a team or a league without any set number of teams in it, that's just empty.
Yeah.
So obviously there's a lot of expansion teams coming in. There's a lot of Port St. Lucie is getting a team. Sporting Cascade still has
Space Force.
Yeah, Space Force. So there's expansion
Rodeo
teams.
FC.
Yes, Rodeo FC. So there's quite a few teams that are coming in, but you still need to build what sounds like it's going to be a much bigger league than Premier and the Championship. It sounds like they want, maybe that is the 36 teams. So I could see us poaching USL League 2 teams to fill in the gap. And also, obviously, more, morning kick around. Those guys are great. They always have really good information. But USL was in Medford, Oregon, pitching a team. Medford's kind of California border, Central Oregon.
Yeah.
50,000 people, probably 75,000 people. They're pitching a team. So
I think that's USL's platform, is trying to find your Portland, Maine, and these smaller communities, Chattanooga, that are smaller markets and even Boise, as we've seen, that will go crazy, or cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, for a professional sports team, and to build that network of small market teams to have a footprint not just in your Portland Oregons or your Seattle Washingtons, but have the Portland Bangers or have Olympia FC or have
I did want to go through some of those USL League 2 teams that could join us.
Yeah,
or could just join League 1,
Yeah.
the future League 1, because there are some really good teams, at least team names. I love the USL League 2. USL League 2 is some of my favorite. But you already mentioned them. The Portland Bangers, which they're like the Portland Pickles. They're amazing.
Here's their crest.
It is literally a sausage.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's hilarious. But their kits are nice.
Sausage was not the first thing that came to mind when I saw that.
Their kits are nice. I'm just going to say that. They have a really nice kit. But if we, especially just because the West Coast is so, especially the Northwest, is just very lonely.
A lot of the USL 2 teams are very closely located around like the I-5 corridor.
Yeah.
At least for the Washington, Oregon. Like you have
for sure.
Snohomish, Tacoma, Olympia, Portland. Was there one in Vancouver? I don't fully remember, but
no,
those are all within like a 3-hour drive of one another. Yeah. So that would really help build a I-5 derby between those.
And that's one thing that the USL in their announcement, they said they really want regional rivalries. Mm-hmm. And also to cut down on costs. They want to cut down on costs. They don't want USL League 1 teams traveling to New York if they're based in Washington.
Yeah.
So
or Boise, Idaho.
Here's a list of teams that could theoretically come up from USL League 2 that could, again, fit within the new USL League 1. Ballard FC, Omar Yea played for them. Seattle Washington, FC Olympia, Washington, Mid-Lakes United, Bellevue, Portland Bangers. Snohomish United and Snohomish, Washington, Tacoma Stars, West Seattle Junction, San Francisco Glens. I think they're sponsored by Guinness, or at least they have been previously. Wow. So that'd be fun to see, just because that's my favorite beer. FC Tucson, Redlands FC. So USL League 2 is much more built out.
Yeah,
on the West Coast
for the Pacific Northwest primarily.
Yeah. Which I think we just kind of fit like that's more because there's some Utah teams.
Nate Miller was on record saying Boise was in the Pacific Northwest. That's a debate for a different time. I think we're Pacific Northwest adjacent.
The Mountain West isn't really. When you look across the country, if you ask someone from Indiana, where is Boise located?
Yeah.
They're going to say the Pacific Northwest, or they're going to say Iowa.
Yeah.
Even though they're in Indiana and they should know better, they're not because they're from Indiana. And
yeah. I just thought that was funny when I heard him say that. I was like, that could ruffle some feathers for.
We border Oregon, Washington, and Canada.
We border the Pacific Northwest.
Yes.
But I would not dictate Boise as Pacific Northwest.
We're Mountain West. But again, not as many people on the national stage.
Yeah, know that.
It's like
the quadrant.
They do 4 quarters. Like
yes.
Or at least it's like East Coast, which you can make the
zones.
argument. Yeah. It's like East Coast, the South, the Midwest, and the West.
Yeah.
Or the Northwest. Like, so there's about 5 regions, and we fall in the limbo zone.
With Utah and can kind of be the stepchild of whatever
people we're in the group of states people forget about the most of.
Yes.
Montana, Wyoming, Utah, Idaho. Nevada, except for Vegas.
Yeah. So really excited to see what the premiere.
Sorry,
we're chatting.
Went on a rant.
That's why you're here, though, because you have the information. I think,
I'm good at rants.
I think in my brain, it's the USLP, it's the USLC, and it's the USL1.
Yeah.
I think those are going to be just my quick abbreviations. It's really just the first letter.
Yeah. I guess my closing statement is I hope the merit outweighs the metric when it comes to promotion and relegation, because I love the thought of what the USL is doing. It's why so many of us have bought into it. And if they screw with it in the way that they're trying to, it feels like they're killing the whole intention of it, in my opinion.
Yeah, if a promotion gets denied purely because you don't fit the metrics of the division above.
I'm sorry, we're at 975.
Yeah, I mean, if your stadium isn't have enough capacity that's different. But if it's purely because, Idaho's or Boise is 960,000 and your 30% owner is only $20 million net worth.
Yeah, you don't have a good enough sugar daddy.
Yeah. So maybe need to just distribute the shares a little differently and I don't even know what Casey Keller's net worth is. I doubt it's that high. Call Ashton Genty,
there's a couple of companies where it's just like, hey,
Simplot,
yeah,
Micron, Lamb Weston, McCain,
yeah. You guys want
Amalgamated Sugar.
Go find some celebrities up in Coeur d'Alene. Ryan Reynolds, maybe he has a Coeur d'Alene house. Who knows? Sun Valley, Jimmy Fallon. We can go talk to. We will go just park ourselves outside of the airport in Sun Valley, and just have a sign up and that says, "Please buy this. Please buy a stake in our club."
Zuck has a estate. I've seen his estate in Sun Valley.
Clint
Eastwood. Yeah,
he's like 90 years old.
Yeah, he's got a net worth of over $30 million. I guarantee it.
Yeah. So if you live in Carmel, I think that's like a base requirement.
Yeah. So really excited for the new pyramid, and for more information to come as we get closer and closer to Pro-Rel. And that kind of gets us caught up at least on the big ticket items. We have some questions from viewers that'll kind of transition us into our final topic for today. That comes to us. I think Kyle actually can probably just pull it out.
Yeah, a couple different folks kind of reach out to us. Did we talk about CBA at all?
That'll be coming up with this question right now.
Sorry.
I just don't have my phone in front of me to say.
That's okay. So Bobby B. Buttons. Bobby B. Buttons. Do USL 1 players have a CBA? No discussions are ongoing in the championship, but I'll let you kind of elaborate on it. But just to quickly say, so yeah, the championship, they have a cooperative bargaining agreement, which is essentially, they have a players association, which is essentially a union that represents them to set the standards for the league. And the championship has expired, and there is threat of a lockout.
They're currently not collectively bargained and are trying to negotiate.
Yes, but yes, League One has one, and I'll let Elias take it from there.
Yeah, I think Bobby also had a second question that kind of goes hand in hand of like, how can we be assured that players are being taken care of by the club? And that is what a CBA kind of encompasses of expectations from clubs. Now, be it, do the teams put the players in the best housing? That's a club to club thing. And at least from what I've heard, and that at least Athletic Club Boise has the players in nice housing, nice location, close to the stadium. And it seems to be relatively new, and it's not maybe a rundown part of town or an old complex. But USL 1's CBA is currently agreed through the 2027 season, which conveniently lines up with when Pro-Rel becomes a thing.
That'll probably throw a wrench in things.
Yeah. So
for good or bad.
For good or bad. If for some reason neither party decides to reject the CBA come 2027, it will automatically roll over into the 28 season. I would assume that the players are going to decline that come the 2027 season to negotiate. Some of the big things to touch on from, I guess, player coverage and player insurance is players' minimum pay is $23.50 a month. That's the minimum a player can get paid for being an Athletic Club Boise player, and that includes, that $23.50 a month includes housing and insurance provided by the club, but housing and insurance can only be half or less of that total. So let's say a player gets paid $3,000 a month, their housing and insurance needs to be $1,500 or less so that they still are making $1,500 a month base salary. There are also bonuses in most contracts, and some contracts are also performance-based, but those performance-based contracts still need to maintain this minimum payment, even if there are kickers for metrics or for game played or for whatever it is. So that's the big thing of players have in writing that they will be paid a minimum of $23.50. That next year for the 2026-27 season will go up to $2,500. And then if for some reason it rolls over, I think it said it was a 4% roll increase for cost of living. So,
Got it.
on top of that, a lot of the players, at least for AC Boise, aren't from here and had to relocate. So there are bylaws and written into the CBA that relocation funding is provided by the club to get you from Florida, from Baltimore, from wherever these players were located previously to come to Boise and get all their stuff moved, which is good to know that the players don't have to front this. The CBA also mentions minimum roster size before 2 weeks into the season, so we're coming up on that. Probably at the time of this release, we're right around that 2 week mark from the first kickoff. So teams need to have 15 players signed to a minimum $2,350
professional contract, not a academy.
Yeah, which at the time of recording, we are at 13 announced. We're hearing from multiple people that there are more than 15 players currently under contract. The team just has
trolling Instagram for stories that players have posted going, who's this guy? Who's this guy? Who's this guy?
Yeah, there are a couple of trialists from, it looks like Forward Madison, 18-year-old ex-academy player from them who's with us right now. So, but need to have at least 15 players on contract before the season starts, 2 weeks before the season starts. Maximum contract, I know we've talked about contracts for a while, the maximum duration of contract can be is 5 years. So most minimum is 10 months.
So they can't do a Chelsea and sign a guy for 8 years and just defer money exponentially.
Yeah, exactly. Can't do that here. And then I think a question we either had off air or on our last episode was, will they be flying to locations? Will they be driving to locations? The CBA ensures that any travel over 500 miles has to be in the air. So Spokane.
Is Spokane 500 miles? I think they might be flying to every game.
Spokane's not 500 miles from here. No,
it's like a 9-hour drive.
Yeah, but it's not.
It might be close, man.
500 miles is Olympia.
Let's see. Spokane, Washington
Kyle's
is. You're right. It's 300 miles.
Yeah, so they'll be driving to Spokane.
So they'll be driving to Spokane, and it's a 7-hour drive.
They might be driving to Eugene or Sporting Cascade come next year.
Eugene.
But I think everyone else they should be flying.
Is 350.
Yeah, there's no way we're driving to AV Alta, Antelope Valley.
Antelope Valley. What's it? 500 miles?
Yeah. The team will only be driving to Spokane this next year.
Want to know what team would have been nice and close and drivable? Reno.
Yeah, that's
still not over that.
Yeah. So Bobby Buttons, whatever your handle is.
Bobby B. Buttons.
Bobby B. Buttons. The CBA and USL 1 is still intact, still provides some clarity and insurance.
Minimum professional standards.
Minimum professional. Again, from what we've heard, Boise was shelling out well above minimum contracts for a lot of these players to come and take that net negative step down in competition. To come here with USL 1.
But they're not making Premier League $200,000 a week money.
No, they're not making $130,000 a week.
Traore.
I just saw him about throw Kukurea.
He was gonna fight everyone on that team.
So
I love him so much. He's hilarious.
As for maybe the checks and balances for what AC Boise is doing with the team, the CBA does give them some guidance. We have seen, I think through a interview we might talk about in a little bit, that
Morning Kick Round, which is another USL creator, so US soccer creator, they interviewed Bill Taylor, who's one of the co-founders of the team.
Yes, and he mentioned that AC Boise is doing internships and other local sponsorships to ensure the players have both success on the pitch, but also in off the pitch success with business or with their future.
Yes. At a minimum standard, essentially.
Yeah. So they're shelling out. Again, we don't have. It's not like that is currently public knowledge of what the wage bill is per month for AC Boise. If we ever get word of what that looks like, we'll be sure to let you know.
Don't know if that'll be in the public records.
Yeah, I don't think so. But just know that any player that gets signed officially and posted on AC Boise is at minimum making has a minimum package of $2,350 a month, including housing and insurance. So at the minimum, they're bringing in
Which apparently I listened to one interview on the USL show from a player, and you can refuse the insurance.
Oh,
you don't have to. It is an option. You can refuse it, which apparently many players do.
Wow.
Apparently many players do refuse the insurance. But yes, housing is paid for, and then they get 23 whatever on top of it.
No, 2350 includes housing. So
I read at least how he described it. Maybe that's a championship. Maybe that's a championship and it's different. But in the championship, you need a certain amount minimum because your housing that is not included in that total.
Yeah. So what I read was, in this case, let's say a minimum contract of 2350. Your housing and insurance, if you choose to agree upon it, can be no more than 1120 or 1175 a month. So then your net income minimum is 1175 of paycheck to play soccer, and then probably you have per diems
for a month.
Yeah,
Boom.
But I'm assuming your meals are probably covered by the team. You get per diems on travel.
Which again, that interview, they had per diems, meals, everything was paid for. Everything was paid for. I'm just thinking of housing in Boise. Like housing in Boise, this isn't Boise in 2017. Like
No.
an $1,100 rent is,
which is probably why they're shelling out more.
Yeah.
Area where a lot of new apartments were built. So
for sure,
right nearby the stadium, and it sounds like they're all kind of housed together, at least.
AC Boise complex.
Yeah, little fun time. So from that, we assume, Bobby, that the team is doing their best to ensure that the players are fed and their families are taken care of, and
it is nice to know that there is a USL Players Association that's acting kind of as a union for these guys, cooperative or collective bargaining, going to bat for them, because professional standards can always improve, and I'm sure interim CEO of the USL is in a little bit of hot water for an interview that he just did, where he said players are currently viewed as expenses, not assets.
Yeah,
what do you think about that?
That's not good. I mean, I know soccer is...
Like, they are the product.
They are the product. They are assets.
They should always be viewed as such.
Yeah, soccer is the one sport where I feel like players are sold.
Yeah.
And you make money on players.
Best optics.
Where, at least right now, the big thing is the NBA trade deadline, but it's normally a player-for-player trade and draft picks. But
yeah, that's not a soccer thing.
No,
it's rare.
Soccer thing is, hey, I'll give you $20 million for this player or whatever it is. It's rare to see
Dwight McNeil.
Yeah, it's rare to see. I mean, I know Leeds was in on a striker, and we were trying to shell out one of our strikers as a package. Joel Peru, and $30 million for Jorgen Strand Larsen.
Oh, jeez.
Did not work out. They politely declined. So
they signed Mighty Mouse instead. Adam Armstrong's 5'5".
Of course, we love Adam Armstrong. So I think we've beaten the dead horse on the CBA.
Yep,
the
CBA.
teams are protected on USL 1. My big question would be, I wonder when Pro Rel gets in, I would assume that contracts now have to have, like, I know in the Premier League, the championship wages do change for most contracts from the Prem to the championship of usually by
clauses,
50% reduction in wages.
You get relegated, your wages automatically go down.
I wonder if it's vice versa, where contracts, the wages do change.
If you have a good agent.
Yeah, if you have a good agent.
Maybe.
And the ownership is willing to see that through, which it sounds like, again, Nate's biggest thing is wanting to win and wanting to prove that Boise's ready for this. It would make sense that for any player, again, the only duration contract we've seen is Blake Bodley's, and I think that was 3 or 4 years.
3 years.
Lines up with that Pro Rel season to start, that if we get him for another certain time, if those contracts will have those riders of, if we get promoted, your new wage will be this, and yada yada. So
should we move on to the next question?
Yeah.
We have one, Riverguard Ryan.
Ooh.
Riverguard Ryan.
What do you got from Ryan?
Ryan wanted to discuss... Oh, I know. Yeah, what themes do you hope the Riverguard will lean on for TIFOs this season?
I'm not a big TIFO guy, so...
For a German, that's rare. Germans are very good at TIFOs.
yeah, I don't watch the Bundesliga predominantly, and I think
Germans love a good tifo.
Leeds don't really do tifos much at all.
Yeah, that's because you're Red Bull, and the whole world hates Red Bull ownership.
Yeah, so,
especially the Germans. RB Leipzig is basically the devil.
I would love for the tifos for the River Guard, who, if you haven't, check out the River Guard. They need people to paint these tifos. And again, if you don't know what a tifo is, Ryan did a great breakdown of what this is in episode 4 of our podcast. So just give that a listen. But the TLDR, it's a large hand-painted mural, usually out of canvas or some kind of material that has a message, either supporting the team, taking a jab at the opponent, or somewhere in between.
I'm picturing like a landscape backdrop, kind of like the mountains with the trees and the having a falcon. Like I could see it being not as aggressive per se, because some tifos can be poke fun at the opposing team. Like when RB Leipzig plays anybody, it's essentially like any team they find a way to like stab at like how they exist and how they're allowed to operate in Germany's system, because technically they shouldn't. So no, and who knows how the USL reacts to like more, not spicy. Spicy is not the right, but it's just kind of like a more antagonistic tifo, or is this going to be, and how our club, like how is our ownership going to react, or should they just leave them alone, like the club? Because in my opinion, does the tifo need to be approved by the club, because it's going to be shown in their stadium? Like the River Guard doesn't own that stand, it's the club's. Does the tifo need to be approved? I mean, I think MLS, they need to get these sorts of things, but at least that I can think of, there's a couple of themes we could play, like a potato themed one. We could do like a potato themed one. You could play homage to Boise State and have like a Smurf kind of themed like thing going
probably
on.
Something Basque related.
Get the flag, do something like that. Just like croquetas, just like paella and croquetas. Just like
just be super stereotypical.
Yeah,
I think there's definitely a lot of great ideas that they can go through, and I think just any tifo will be cool to have. I know Ryan again spoke about it in episode 4 about his time with the Sounders supporter group, and Manny's time with the Galaxy supporter group.
Or is he LAFC?
I think he's Galaxy.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Supporter stand maybe isn't as daunting and giant as CenturyLink feel, or whatever it is now, not CenturyLink.
Quest.
Oh my god.
Some tech.
Lumen Field.
I knew it was some fiber company.
Or wherever Portland Timbers play, Alaska
Airlines
Stadium. Yeah. So that'd probably be their only limiting factor, is pure square footage of what they can do.
Keep it small.
Yeah,
I guess
keep it fun, keep it family friendly, and again, if you have any talents in painting,
the only team that I'm like, don't hold back, Corpus Christi. Just go at them.
And Westchester SC, because soccer club.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't like soccer
When
clubs.
Space Force does have a team, Space Coast, please just have Mickey Mouse riding a Looney Tunes Acme rocket.
And Steve Carell for his time
on Space Force. Yeah.
The Netflix
so have
series.
Mickey Mouse with Steve Carell riding an Acme rocket.
Or Steve Carell with Mickey Mouse gloves riding an Acme
rocket. Yeah, there we go.
Got something
perfect.
There. So
hire us. We'll do it.
Please don't. We don't want our brainchild. I think that wraps up Ryan's question. I know. Perfect. Well, we are the Pitchside Peregrines, and we hope you enjoyed today's ramble and
Kyle's ramble. You can say it.
we both had our stints, but I hope you enjoyed today's chat and kind of catch up of all things Athletic Club Boise before we start in the season. Perfect.
Yes, sir.
We will chat with y'all soon. In the meantime, again, check out our social medias, check out our Patreon if you haven't already. And at the time of recording today, thank you so much, Steven. We were signing off, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye, everybody. Thank
See
you.
Ya. That's all for today's episode. If you enjoy the show, make sure to like, comment, share with a friend, and make sure you're following the show wherever you listen. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube for all updates and future content to come. If you want to help support the pod and get access to exclusive content, early episodes, and bonus perks, head over and check out our Patreon. It truly helps us keep this thing growing. Thanks again for listening. Thanks for being part of the community, and we'll catch you in the next one.